Episode 5. Today's topic is unplugging. Today we're talking about all things digital age. We'll be sharing some cool hobbies that help us unplug, some phone etiquette when you're at a dinner table, and what we think pros and cons of social media are.
The material and information presented here is provided by lived experience youth and for general information purposes only. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed are of the guests of our podcast own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of Youth Move.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to episode 5 of Youth Move Colorado's podcast. We are Youth Move Colorado, and we still need your help naming us. So check out our social media platforms to vote for whichever name you love the most. Our Instagram handle is at YouthMoveCo. So check that out and maybe give us a follow. Do you want to share what our topic for today is?
Absolutely. And it's kind of one of my favorites that I'm kind of working on. And today's topic is we are unplugging. So basically what unplugging is getting off your darn phone for a little bit or any type of device for that matter to, just relax and actually touch some grass a little bit, just being able to unwind and get out of the way of, yourself. So what are some things that, hobby wise that you can separate yourself from social media?
I love spending time outside, but I also have got that Irish skin. So I can't handle the sun for like an entire weekend. Like my friend is off backpacking in the mountains right now. Could never be me. And I'm not like the most athletic person ever that was existing. So I do like to read and I like to bake a lot. And I like to do that. Sometimes I'll even like turn my phone off and just try to be like, unreachable.
Yeah, sometimes I turn off everything. I feel like even my Wi-Fi sometimes because I'm just like sometimes it's too much. Get overwhelmed with emails or friends or family trying to tell me all these crazy things, and I'm just like, Sundays are usually like my deep stress day, deep plug day. Like I just not go on any electronics and then spend time with my cat. Maybe go out with some friends and hang out, and then we all actually interact with each other instead of be on social media or the internet.
There's nothing I hate more than when you're with a group of people and trying to get that face-to-face interaction and everybody's nose is just in their phones. That's something that I think is just the rudest thing ever. Sorry if people do that. I hate it a lot.
Yeah, there's actually a term for it. It's called phubbing. It's when you're on your phone around people. Yeah, kind of crazy. I also love to read. I read this book called How to Break Up with Your Phone. And in there, they gave a lot of cool tips for unplugging. I'll share a few of them. Also, Savannah, that's super cool that you do no devices for like a whole day. That's what I need to do more is like intentionally turn it off. And there is an app. Well, there's lots of apps. One that I use is called App Block, and it's free. There are some things you have to pay for, but the basic quick block, it allows you to choose which apps or like functions on your phone that you don't want to use. And you can go and like use the app and it'll start. And then you won't be able to like use Instagram or like go on Facebook or check your email. So that's something really cool. If you're like struggling with that or don't want notifications, you can just, for one, turn notifications off or just use the app block and it'll prevent you from being able to access it, which is super cool. Another thing I like to do is just leave my phone at home. Like if I'm going out or just going somewhere, just leaving it. Trying to sleep without it in my room is a really big thing. Last summer, I did a trail job. It was kind of like backpacking, like your friend is doing, Julia. And it was like 8 days without phone service whenever we were out in the woods. And that was really, really like just an awesome experience. So I've tried to bring that back by getting like a classic alarm clock And then I don't need my phone in my room as an alarm clock. I can like sleep with it in another room instead of waking up and like immediately checking anything. So yeah, those are a few tips.
That's crazy because I know for as soon as you said that in my head, because I was like, oh my God, I could not just leave my phone at home because I have like my family members in a group chat and we're all in like different locations and things of that sort. So it's definitely different for everybody. But normally, what I have done lately, which this can like help whether you're like in a relationship or you're in family and stuff like that, what you can do is take your phone, flip it on the table, and do not touch it. And I kinda do it like a step further, like when I'm with friends or something like that, whoever's like phone goes off first has to like pay for everybody's drinks, like take it a step further. It's quite fun. Or like if we do need to check something, we'll say something beforehand like, hey, I'm gonna check my phone 'cause I was supposed to get a email or anything like that, which another thing, if you're working, like, with our jobs and stuff like that, we are constantly just on repeat getting emails, and it's like a meeting here, meeting there, and right now I am currently on vacation working. So, it's just like, it's that matter of trying to separate yourself from your phone and things of that sort. So what I would do is make an email saying like, hey, I'm doing XYZ. I'm not going to be on my phone at all. And that would probably make the situation better, but, hey.
That's awesome. I'm like, oh, I wish we didn't have phones. But then I'm like, I don't know how to read a map. I like my Spotify music. What if something happens and I need to call 911? And sometimes I wonder, especially for kids being born now into this age of technology, because like I remember when the first iPod came out, but my like niece, she's being born in a world where like everyone has a smartphone. Like she doesn't know a world before phones. So I think this is a really interesting and like important conversation to set boundaries with it because nobody likes being phubbed or like having quality time with someone and then they're on their phone. Like that really hurts. And I don't know. I guess to go into our next topic about social media, I haven't really posted anything on social media in a while because I just feel like it's fake. Like everyone wants to take a picture, we're hanging out, but you're on your phone the whole time. I don't know, it's just weird. I'm like, if you know me, you know what's going on in my life. We don't need to all act like we're happy and everything's great all the time, which is what Instagram kind of feels like to me. And also memes. I do like the memes.
I do enjoy a good meme as well. And I feel like we would be remiss as I think most or all of us are like Gen Zers. There are a lot of pluses to social media and technology, and it's definitely a privilege to have access to those things. So before we go into like what sucks about social media, does anyone have anything that they appreciate about it before we like start hating on it?
Honestly, what I love about social media is that, like, we can have conversation about, like, what's going on outside of the USA. Because I don't know what it is about USA, but everybody thinks that we're just this one country and we just know all of it in itself. And when we find out things about going on in Europe and Asia and Africa, it like turns into a culture shock for them. So it's just like, I love how it's becoming more, I guess, diverse, for the most part, but it's just like we can keep up with the times and, it's kind of sad, but, keep up with the war and their politics and things of that sort and what's going on. But it becoming something like TikTok. I don't know how many times I've seen TikTok outside of the US, or with TikTok, they'll explain like, oh, this is some things that you could do in Paris. There's some things that you can do in Nigeria. It's so many things that you can do and you're like, hey, I want to go do that and experience it. So it's just like a nice little thread. That's what I like about it.
I find that it's also such a great tool for advocacy and education and like learning about things that are outside of your own experience. Like, I'm not ashamed whatsoever to admit that I hear a lot about current events from TikTok, but that's awesome because a lot of those things maybe other media aren't putting out there for whatever reason, that whatever their own like political agenda is. And I think that that's really something that shaping our generation in like not a bad way, you know? So who hates social media?
I do. I can't stand it. And the reason why I can't stand it is because it's always the bullying aspect of it. That's the worst part that I don't like about it because it's just like there's always somebody that has something to say and it's always something mean. It's just like I know we can't change the entire universe with the snap of our fingers, but also in the same breath, I'm starting to see my grandparent on Instagram, in Snapchat, in Facebook, and it's just like, I understand that it's not like a exclusive kind of situation, but it's crazy to see that my grandparents know how to use emojis properly, and it's just like, it's crazy because I'll go to my grandparents' house occasionally to like check up on them and stuff like that. And my grandpa looks exactly like my cousins or looking like me, just head down phone. And I'm like, this is crazy. Like, it doesn't stop at a certain age. It just gets worse. And so it's just like that unplugging part is extremely important.
I like that you bring up that it's like spreading to different generations because I think people talk about like the digital divide all the time. And I think that in a lot of cases, like social media and technology use is used as a way to belittle young people or kind of insinuate that they don't know as much about the world or whatever that is. But the reality is that we all use social media. It affects all of us. We all use technology the same now. And I don't know what I'm getting at with that. Never mind.
I feel you, Julia. No, it's like, it's good because we have access to information. And that's great. Communicating with people. A lot of the times I've heard the argument of, yes, people are on their phones, but they're using it to communicate with others. I just feel like no matter what your age, like our age, or like if you're a grandma on a phone, you just need to have critical thinking and realize that like just because you're seeing it doesn't mean it's real. And like TikTok has a lot of cool stuff, but just remembering like do some actual research or like check up on things like, oh, I heard this is a thing. And I think TikTok is cool because you're living in Ukraine. You can record, hey, I'm in Ukraine. This is what's happening. But you also need to be aware that like not everyone is doing and saying the truth online. So it's like having that awareness of what's real and what's fake and unplugging, be it on Sunday, be it after work, and going to touch grass and be with your friends or be with yourself and be in reality. Because this is a tool that can be positive. But I think when everyone's sucked in all of the time, like it just really breaks my heart. Like I was walking home the other day. I'm kind of rambling, sorry. And I felt like a crazy person for like wanting to say hi to people. Like that's just how I am. Like if I walk by a human, I want to say hi to you and like acknowledge that we're both existing. And I feel weird for that. And it's weird because you walk down the street and it's like everyone's on their phone. You're at the park on your phone. You're walking down the street on your phone. But I'm the crazy person for wanting to say hi to you. Like I don't know you, but it's like we're crossing each other's paths. I just want to say hi. And I hope that some people listening feel inspired to unplug and not like break your phone, but just be aware of like how much time you're spending.
Yes, moderation is totally key with all things. But yeah, with social media, with technology, shut your phone off for like an hour a day at least.
while we're on the subject of like cell phones and things of that sort, I don't know how it works on like Androids and stuff like that, but um, with iPhones, you can go into your settings and you can change like your screen time and stuff like that. And so you can minimize where, like, so you can put, oh, I want to be on Instagram for like an hour, or I want to be on Facebook for this amount of time. And so it actually puts you on a limit. And when you reach that limit, you have a choice of either adding like 15 minutes, an extra 15 minutes, or it'll completely block you off of it and you can't get onto it until the next day. So that's another thing that would be really great for people. I don't know how it works on Android. I'm sorry, Android users, but I'm an iPhone girly, so I have no idea how you guys would navigate that.
Maybe one last thought for everyone listening is to not use like your phone or screen time as a way of punishing yourself or like feeling bad about things. We're all learning, we're all in the process constantly of like trying to improve or looking at life. So if you resonate or like agree with anything that we've said, don't be like, oh, I'm a terrible person because I pull my phone out around my friend, or like I wake up and check my phone. Like I do those things still. And we're just always learning. So just like setting that new intention, like each moment is a new moment. And there's no need to like look on the past and be like, oh, I was hanging out with my grandma and we were both on our phones. Like just maybe set that intention for the next time. Like I just want to put my phone down and let each moment be new.
All right. This is going to conclude our 5th episode of Unplugging for our podcast, and we will see you in the next episode. Have a wonderful day, ladies and gents. Bye.